We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
All right, Nathan. Nathan says he was a bit surprised that there was very little talk about HDMI 2.1 at CEDIA in 2017. Clearly, it will be necessary for 8K, but according to Panasonic, HDR10 Plus will be possible using existing HDMI 2.0B ports, and features like eARC have already been confirmed as future firmware updates for some products without needing HDMI 2.1. What is eARC? Is that
That's
different
the
than
enhanced audio return channel that
So
can
it's
handle
better than-
lossless audio.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
All right. That has Nathan wondering about future-proofing, or perhaps present-proofing would be a better term. Oppo said they aren't sure yet whether or not they'll be able to add HDR10 Plus to their UDP 203 and 205 Ultra HD Blu-ray players. LG said they're still evaluating HDR10 and 10 Plus and figuring out if they'll be able to add it to their OLED and Super UHD TVs in the event that the format actually gains enough industry support. So if I remember correctly from reading this thing, HDR10 Plus is like the free version of Dolby Vision, right?
Yeah.
It's the metadata on top. And
It's the dynamic metadata where there's metadata on a scene-by-scene or even down to a frame-by-frame basis, as opposed to base HDR10, which is static metadata, so one peak light level for the entirety of the movie, and therefore everything gets tone mapped according to that one peak brightness.
But HDR10 Plus does not require a license that Dolby does, right?
Well, now you're supposed to pay a license to the HDR10 Plus partnership, I think is the official name.
It's an alliance. It's usually an alliance.
Yeah, but that wasn't the word they used. They use partnership. So there's they call it a nominal fee, and that basically just gives you access to all of the technical documentation for how you're supposed to match this thing. Then there's no royalty or anything beyond that. Yeah. That's it. So it's an alternative to Dolby Vision, doing a similar thing, dynamic metadata. That's HDR10 Plus.
Yeah. All right. Samsung and Panasonic have both said that they'll be adding HDR10 Plus to several of their existing 2017 TVs, although they have no plans to support Dolby Vision as a result, because Dolby Vision, I'm guessing, is a lot more expensive. So if someone wanted to buy a TV, a receiver, and an Ultra HD Blu-ray player today, what is the safest bet? Nathan figures if any existing TV brand is going to support all of the HDR formats, it's probably LG. And similarly, Oppo is probably the most likely to support all the HDR formats on their Ultra HD Blu-ray players, so long as it's technically possible. So do we agree? What about AV receivers? I think AV receivers, I mean, unless there's some reason why HDR10 Plus can't be just passed through, because all of this is metadata. I don't see why your receiver, as long as it can pass through and it has the bandwidth, it should just be able to pass things through. I don't think that that's really much of an issue there. It's the other two, the display and the source, that you have to worry about.
Yeah. The AV receiver should be just passing the signal through, but hey, I've been wrong about this stuff before, because Dolby Vision, it just has to pass it through, and as it turns out, some models that were previously announced, or not announced, but previously weren't included in the list of things that were going to be supporting Dolby Vision, well, now it's looking as though, particularly like some of the 2016 Pioneer models, which were never on any of the lists to support Dolby Vision pass-through, they're like, well, we work with Onkyo now, turns out we probably can make this software thing happen, Dolby Vision's gaining support, maybe we don't want to force all of our customers to have to buy new gear, maybe it would be good customer service to let them pass this signal through. So HDR10 Plus doesn't require any more bandwidth than what HDMI 2.0A can already deliver. So it's not that there isn't enough bandwidth on the port. If there's enough, firmware upgradability to be able to add Dolby Vision, there should be enough to let you just pass through HDR10 Plus. But I've been wrong before, so can't say with any certainty on the AV receiver side, but it's not doing any decoding or anything. It's mostly the display I'd be worried about. I agree. If anybody's going to support everything, it's LG, because they're the only ones supporting Technicolor HDR, which there's no content for it, but they're like, yeah, we're on board. Bring it on.
Might as well. It's free, isn't it?
Yeah, Dolby Vision already, HDR10 of course, and HLG as well, hybrid log gamma. So they're on top of it all, and they even said, they're like, yeah, we're evaluating HDR10 plus. If there's content for it, we'll probably support it. So they do seem like the safest bet, and I agree as well. Oppo, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be them. But they said they straight up don't know. The chip that they put in there, they said, was like one of the earliest chips that was designed to be able to support Dolby Vision.
Right.
So every Ultra HD Blu-ray player supports HDR10. Basic HDR10, that was mandated. That's part of the Ultra HD Blu-ray specification. You have to support that. But Dolby Vision is optional. HDR10 Plus isn't even part of the Ultra HD Blu-ray specification. It's not even an option in the specification yet. That has to get added first. So, yeah, if you're buying something right now, I do agree. An LG OLED or a Super UHD TV, probably your best bet, but no guarantees. Oppo, probably your best bet, but no guarantees. And if you get one of the newest AV receivers that can already pass through Dolby Vision, out of the box, that's your safest bet. It's not a guarantee, but that's your safest bet.
Yeah. And when it comes to manufacturers like Samsung and stuff, whatever they support with their TVs are probably going to support with their players. So
yeah,
we'll have to watch them for the future.
But I mean, Samsung seems committed to not using Dolby Vision.
Yeah.
As does Panasonic. Now, Panasonic at IFA, some of the reps said, if it turns out that Dolby Vision just takes over the industry and our customers demand it, we will add it. And I imagine Samsung eventually would too.
Absolutely.
But for now, they're like, we think HDR10 Plus is the better alternative. So that's where they are.
All right. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.